Rose, written by Valerie Woods, based on conversation with Lisa Lucchese. My husband, Derek, is a mechanic. Between the two of us, our schedule barely gives us enough time to talk to each other at the end of the day, much less write a story about it. Until now. Until the fires and what happened to Rose. Rose is Derek's longtime customer. At 89, she lives on a remote hillside in this beautiful wine country we all love. Derek periodically made house calls to Rose to maintain her car, which has sat idle for several years. Perhaps she secretly loved the visits, but she made it clear that her driving days were long behind her. The car was a nuisance, and she would be happy to see disappear. Perhaps it represented a world she no longer had access to. A walker was her vehicle of choice, and it got her from the bedroom to the kitchen just fine. But Derek didn't stop coming to visit. Sometimes she would talk to him about her art. She'd been an artist for many years, and occasionally still worked on a piece. During Derek's visit, she'd show it to him. Then he'd check the oil and the battery and sometimes take it for a quick spin to keep it from rusting up. Rose would laugh and ask him when he'd ever give up on that old pile of junk. But he didn't give up, even when it took an hour sometimes to find the key. He convinced Rose to keep the key in the drawer by the front door. She might need it one day. Just a few days after Derek's most recent visit, the fires started. Smoke filled the air and the power went out. As Derek and I grabbed our most treasured possessions, it occurred to us that Rose must be in trouble. Roadblocks and evacuations ruled out a race up the hill to see her. The next few days were a blur of fear and trying to keep abreast of where the fires were spreading. However, we soon found out what happened to Rose. Still in her pajamas, Rose used her walker to get out of the house. She walked to the old car, got in, and because she knew exactly where they were, used the keys to start it up. She put the car into gear and placed her foot on the gas. Driving down the narrow driveway, fire burned to the sides of the car. With the power out, her gate was closed. She used her car to ram that gate, and it opened. She drove and drove until she felt safe. Derek has visited since that awful day, and most recently, her family was there, thanking him for saving their mother's life. Some gifts come in the most unexpected ways.